Okay, once again, no, as far as the subject criminal fundamentals of criminal investigation and intelligence is concerned, I am again here, no, with you to give you some guidance as far as the topic that I will discuss in this presentation. No, but before that, I hope and pray that again everybody are of good condition, no, despite the challenges that we are facing. So I hope everybody are mentally, spiritually, and physically stable. No, so do not lose hope. Everything will be put into normal in due time, especially in our academic endeavors. But for now, let us explore all available mediums, all available remedies for us to surpass in a simple way or overcome, no, these challenges, especially uh, the subjects that we are undertaking and finishing in this semester. So whatever lackings, whatever issues that were not mentioned, no, you have all the wisdom, no, and responsibility to explore. And uh, if the situation, especially this pandemic, will settle down and we go back to our usual and normal way of academic interaction, then we will fix everything and fix whatever lackings that we have. But for now, please have patience to use all available resources for you to learn something as far as your subjects are concerned. So, my topic for this presentation is all about the production of intelligence products. You have to remember that as part of the subject matter is intelligence. No, it highlights the importance of intelligence, the importance of the production of intelligence, especially in criminal investigation, especially in law enforcement. Because when you're talking of intelligence, you know, intelligence is universal. In other words, uh, many kinds of people, many kinds of agencies, many kinds of organization, many aspect of life. No, intelligence is very important because intelligence gives advanced information, intelligence gives leads, intelligence gives knowledge, uh, so that a certain organization, a certain group of people, or an individual will have no a knowledge and knows what to do. No, therefore, intelligence is very important. So my point is, no, when we are talking of intelligence, there are many aspects depending on the purpose. So the intelligence that we are pertaining to in this subject matter are the intelligence that are produced for purposes of law enforcement, especially criminal intelligence, is specifically in connection to the solution of crimes, control and prevention of crimes. Okay, this is like in military. So pag military, meron din silang sariling intelligence, meron silang sariling product na gustong i-produce. As far as intelligence is concerned. So, as you see, the creation of intelligence product requires the same commitment to resources and deep direction from the tasking and coordination group as the drive for intelligence capability. Okay, so production of intelligence product is not just. Always remember, intelligence is a processed information. Therefore, no, hindi yan na i-process if it did not undergo several procedures and steps before producing an intelligence. Okay? So in other words, in Ilocano, hindi madaling mag-produce ng intelligence. And another, pag mag-produce ka ng intelligence, you should establish your purpose or what is your aim so that you know where to start and when to end. Okay? So, in intelligence, as I said a while ago, you have to establish your aim. No? Your aim. Because in intelligence, there are at least four common, as far as law enforcement is concerned, no, as far as law enforcement is concerned, there are four products of intelligence. These are descriptions, these are by nature descriptions of intelligence product. No? So for you to understand the product that you want to attain is to establish your aim. If your aim is to identify a longer term issue in an area as well as a scope and protection for growth in criminality for the purpose of establishment law enforcement priorities. Ang gusto mo is to broadly, example in the PNP, as a law enforcement organization, gusto mong malaman if what is the best practice in the PNP that controls and prevents crime. No, gusto mong malaman is what are those crimes mostly committed, or what are those offenses mostly committed in the country, so that the PNP could adjust their operations. For the PNP as an organization, or the DILG, or even the Congress, so that they will pass a law or a measure that will benefit the national government, that will benefit the national agency, yeah, and it will be used in a longer period of time. In other words, pag ang intelligence na gusto mo is malawak ang sakop niya para sa paggawa ng isang policy na nakakatulong sa example sa improvement of law enforcement, improvement of criminal investigation, then basically that will be a strategic assessment, type of intelligence. Then here, if you want to identify or monitor the progress or to assist management of current operation, pag ang gusto mong malaman is what is that information or intelligence relative to specific operation. Gusto mong malaman kung ano ang ginagawa ng isang grupo, ano ang common na movement ng isang sindikato na yan, so that you will use that to conduct raid, for example, to conduct raid. Then your purpose there is tactical assessment, so that you will use in a specific operation. Okay, so ang tactical at strategic, yan, magkaiba yan. No? Then, if your target is to provide a detailed pick offender and his associate, pag tao naman ang target mo, gusto mong establish kung itong tao is meron siyang participation, ano ang common niyang ginagawa that might lead him in the commission of a crime. So, pag tao o isang grupo ng tao ang tinitignan mo, sinusundan mo, nagkakanda ka ng surveillance para malaman yung every movement, you will make analysis kung sino ang mga taong ito. Yan ang tinatawag na profiling. So, ang tawag dyan is target profile. Okay? Then, if your aim naman is to establish an emerging crime incident series. So, yan. Ito yung gusto mong malaman kung ano ang common na nakocommit na crime in a certain place, bakit ito ang nakocommit and so forth and so on. Ito yung in-establish yung crime hotspot. No? Yan. Ano ang rape hotspot in the Philippines. Yan. So that after knowing it, then you will now know what to do. No? As a matter of law enforcement. Okay, that is problem profile. Okay? Then let us proceed to the main issue, no, in this presentation, that before you produce an intelligence product, it needs to undergo a process, and this process is called the intelligence cycle, or sometimes they call it the phases of intelligence. So these phases of intelligence varies depending on the agency or nature of the operation. Nonetheless, they may vary from the number of cycles. Kasi sa ibang libro, baka mabasa nyo 4 lang na cycle. No? So it depends. But they may have differences, but they have common in the cycle, where the common starts with the preparation, planning, and direction, followed by collection, evaluation, analysis, and dissemination. So pare-parehas lang yan. Sa iba na dagdagan, na specify, no, mas specific yung iba. Yung iba general, kaya ko kunti, no? So paparehas lang yan. Now, take note. No, the intelligence cycle is broadly recognized as the foundation of the intelligence analysis process, no, at both operational and strategic levels. Okay, so let us have a picture of the intelligence cycle. Again, itong picture na ito, nakakaiba din yan. Depende sa kung sino ang gumawa, kung paano nila i-present yung cycle. No? But for us, for the moment, ito yung ginamit ko for us to illustrate this cycle. So, the cycle that I use is a cycle from the United Nations. No? Kung tingnan nyo, mas marami siya. No? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 cycles. Pero sa iba, it is 4. Sa iba, 5. No? Sabi ko, parehas lang yan. Nag-start sa planning, collection, evaluation, collation, analysis, and dissemination. Parating huli ang dissemination. So bago mo ibigay ang isang information, kailangan dadaan siya sa masusi na proseso. So, paano nag-uumpisa yung pag-produce ng intelligence product? Depending kung anong purpose. First is tasking. Sa ibang libro, you will say planning and direction. So, tasking. No? Yeah. What is tasking? No? Of course, dito nagsisimula if you see that intelligence production is driven by the needs of the client. So, pag may nangangailangan, for example, the investigator, gusto niyang magkaroon ng intelligence in connection to the investigation, or yung presidente ng Pilipinas, or any other officials, or even Congress, for example, sila ang pwedeng clients na mag-request for the conduct of intelligence. No? So, yan ang direction and tasking. So, in this area, no? Dito nalalaman kung sino ang client, sino ang may gusto na mag-produce ng intelligence product, ah, ano ang gustong malaman, and so forth and so on. So yan ang nangyayari sa direction and tasking. Yan nangyayari ang planning and direction. Kung sino ang gagawa ng intelligence operation to produce such intelligence product. Then after direction and tasking is collection. Yan, ito yun na yung isa sa pinakamahirap, collection, because the data that you want to get, no, hindi naman yan basta-basta andyan na kukunin mo. Kailangan mong paghirapan, mostly ang mga information na gusto mong makuha, hindi mo basta nakukuha. You have to exert many efforts, technologies, and money just to produce or collect this information. No? So yeah. So the intelligence in collection, the intelligence process relies on ability to obtain and use data. Yeah. So mahirap mag-collect ng information. No, you need efforts. No, there are three main types of sources of information in general. No, yan. We have open source. Yan. Pag open yan, anyone can access that. Newspaper. Yan. For example, that is an open source. No, there is no restriction. Then second is closed source. Yeah. So there are information available, but not all have access or can access. No? It's like bank accounts or bank records, yeah, and other relative records. Hindi mo basta makukuha yan. Ah, because it has a limited access. Okay? Closed source. So kung gagawin mo dito, you will conduct surveillance, you will conduct hacking, and so forth and so on, just to get the information. Just like, yeah. Then ito namang classified information, talagang this source of information is classified. No? In other words, hindi pwedeng, hindi pwedeng pag malaman ng public o pag malaman ng tao na kinukuha mo yung ganyang information, then it is a different story. It may have a violation of law, yeah, or it may destroy the process. So that is why sa classified dito na ginagamit yung mga different techniques, no, to gather information. Use of technology, use of drone. These are mostly secret operations. Dito sa close, no, hindi po muna pwede. Example nga sabi ko, bank records, no, limited access yan. Pero andyan yung information. Sa closed source, the information is there. Ang gawin mo lang is to have access to it. No? So, kailangan mong lakarin. Kung kailangan bayaran mo yung officer in charge of the information just to get one, then you have to do it. And dito sa classified naman, very sensitive ito. Kailangan you do the operation, you do the collection of information in a secret manner, in a covert operation, so that you will get it, no, without detection. That is why sa ngayon gumagamit ng human and technical means, satellite, drone, and other forms, relevant forms. Okay? Just to get one. Yan. Oh, sa wiretapping sa Philippines, kung gusto mong marinig yung conversation ng target mo at saka ibang tao, hindi mo pwedeng gawin yan. No? Yan. Pero pag sa ibang countries, they can do that. They can get information. Okay? Yeah. So, there are three main sources of information. Okay, so do not forget the three main types of sources of information. Ito yung pwede kang makakuha ng information that you will use, no? In the next process of intelligence. No? So again, open source, they're publicly available, like those books, no? Those newspapers, the mass media. Closed source, these are information that you need access to it because it is limited. No, sabi ko kayo, mga birth certificates, bank records, those are closed sources. No. Then classified, of course, this information, hindi mo basta-basta makukuha ito if you will not exert efforts to to get it, no? Such as you have to undercover, kailangan mo mag-surveillance, kailangan mo ang shadowing, kailangan mo ang technology so that you can get information. No? So now, if you have collected the information, the next step is to evaluate it. No? So, hindi lahat ng nakuha mo na information are useful or relevant to the fact in issue or relevant in investigation, for example. So, you have to evaluate them. No? So, no, in the evaluation of the sources and data, these are very important that you have to consider. So, we have a system of evaluation. Now we have two. We have the 4x4 and the 6x6 system. No, what are the three principles applied to evaluation? It must not be influenced by personal feelings, but be based on professional judgment. No, simple, hindi porke maganda yung nagbigay ng information and sexy. Okay na, truthful na yan or very useful. No. So, evaluation of the source must be made separately to the information. So, remember, if there is an information, there is a source. So, whatever information you have to assess that. Then you also assess the source of information and combine it and get the best information. Okay? So, these are the system of evaluating information collected. So, first, to evaluate the source of information, we have this acronym. This is the code ABCX. So, pag nilagay mo is B, ang ibig sabihin ng evaluation mo, no? In that particular source of information is source from whom information received has in most instances proved to be reliable. Pag ang nilagay mo naman na code doon sa evaluation mo sa source of information is X, then basically ang ibig sabihin, the reliability of the source cannot be judged. In other words, no, you cannot establish, no, if there is truthfulness, genuineness of the source of information. The next is the information evaluation of the information. No, we have a code 1, 2, 3, 4. Kaya ang tawag dyan is 4x4 because apat dito 1, 2, 3, 4. Apat ang ginagamit sa source. Apat din ang ginagamit dito sa information evaluation. So ang code, pag ang information ang ine-evaluate mo is that 1, 2, 3, 4. Pag nilagay mo is 3 ang code niya ng evaluation mo, then it means information not known personally to the source but corroborated by other information recorded. Excuse me. Okay? So, iyan ang pag-evaluate. So, pag mag-evaluate ka, you evaluate the source, you evaluate the information. No? Yeah. This is also applicable kung saan-saan man. No? You have to evaluate them. Then next, in the 6x6 system, dito naman ang pinaka-common ito. No? Ang acronym nito is ang ano mo dito na acronym sa source evaluation of this reliability of the source of information is Kufnor, Kufnor, C-U-F, ito, N ito. Pwede mong balik rin yan. Not usually reliable. Yan. So, Kufnor, yan. Itong U, yan. Unreliable. Then itong last na F, uh, R, reliability cannot be judged. Pwede mong ilagay dito. Reliability cannot be judged. Kung magiging Kufnor, C-U-F-N-U-R, Kufnor. So, ano ang code ng Kufnor na yan? Pag ito, we have A, B, C, D, E, and F. So, pag ang evaluation mo sa source is F, then ang meaning is anong ibig sabihin? Reliability cannot be judged. Oh, reliability cannot be judged. So, pag ganyan, walang ano yan. Okay? So, A, completely reliable. B, usually reliable. C, fairly reliable. And usually not reliable and unreliable. Kufno. Okay? So, yeah, that is how to evaluate the source. Then next is the data or the information itself. No? So, ang ginagamit naman dyan is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kaya tingnan nyo, 6 by 6 kasi 6 ang mga yan. 6 din yan. No? So, ang acronym naman dito pag data or information, reliability or validity of information is CPPD. Yan. T, ito naman yung last. Bakit T? Kasi truth cannot be judged. Truth cannot be judged. Kaya T, CPPD. Kaya sometimes commonly sa mga criminologists, they will say Kufnor, CPPD. Yan yung evaluation of information. Ginagamit na pag-evaluate ng information. That is the 6 by 6 system. Okay? So example, pag nilagay ang evaluation mo is C2. No, C2. So anong ibig sabihin yan? Pag C2, fairly reliable ang source, then ang data is probably true. Yan ang ibig sabihin yan. So that is your interpretation. Okay? Pag nilagay mo naman F5 ang evaluation mo, then ang interpretation is truth cannot be judged of the source and improbable ang information. Okay? So that is all about the evaluation. Kufnor, CP, PDIT. Okay? So please try to see. No? Bakit ko tinawag na CP Kufnor ito? Itong last is T. Truth cannot be judged. Then dito naman sa data or information validity, we have the CPPD. CPPD3 din ito. Truth cannot be judged. Okay? So that is all about the summary as far as evaluation is concerned. Then the next one is sanitation. This is a term that you have to understand. What is sanitation? Following the evaluation, it is advisable to continue with the system of sanitation. Oh, sanitation or sanitization. No, that is a common one today, especially today. No, parang kahit naghugas ka na ng kamay, kailangan mo pa rin mag-alcohol. That is sanitization. So this is intended to protect the source or origin of the information from being detectable from the context or wording of the report. It also seeks to protect the circumstances or method by which the intelligence was obtained. So yan. Then after the evaluation, hindi pa dyan nagtatapos. No? Kailangan ding i-collate mo yan. What is collation? No, this is the transfer of collected information. Yan, yung mga na-process mo at na-collect mo na mga yan, kailangan mo ilagay sa isang storage system. Pwedeng naka-hard copy yan, ilagay mo sa filing cabinet or today, it is computerized data. No? So kailangan ilagay mo dyan so that data can be collected and data can be retrieved and analyzed later. Okay? So collation is the transfer of collected information in a storage system. After collation, then data integration and analysis. Yeah. Okay. So dito to summarize it, data integration and analysis, it is careful examination of information to discover its meaning and essential feature. Yeah. Ito yung analysis. So remember this, bago ka mag-analyze, kailangan mo munang magkaroon ng data integration. Kaya sabi niya dito, data integration is the first phase of analytical process. It involves combining of information from different sources in preparation for the formulation of inferences. Yeah, okay, inferences. So ito ang ginagawa ito is to come up with inferences. Okay? So what is inference development as the next cycle? To develop inferences, you have to do this. The first truly analytical product is the inference. Yeah. After the analysis, then you will establish your inference. So in inference development, you read it. An inference comes from the premises. One common mistake is to intuitively develop an inference and then look for premises that would support it. What is premise? In inference development, it is used to identify facts or pieces of information that go together to make a particular point. Well, sa inference development, talagang sinajustify mo na, no, yung evaluate, yung analyze mong data, kung ito bang analyze data na ito, no, ay merong premise or merong kahulugan, kabuluhan, yung intelligence na yan. Okay? So, for you to have the premise, these are the 4 types of inferences na pwede mong gawin during inference development, no, to finalize the data, no, analyzed and integrated. So to finalize the data integrated and analyzed for purposes of dissemination, bago mo ma-disseminate yan, kailangan mo pa rin i-inference development. Ano ang ginagawa? Establish the premise, no? Kabuluhan, no? Yan, value of the analyzed information. And ano yung ginagawa to develop inferences? You will use hypothesis, you will use prediction, you will use estimation, and or conclusion. So these are the 4 types to establish your inferences. Then pag nasala mo na yan, no, ayan, pag nasala mo na yan na talagang parang sa mga test-test na yan. So kung merong unang test na ginawa, then sundan ng confirmatory. So ang confirmatory parang yan yung inference development. You have to confirm, no, that this information is really useful, and how to confirm that this processed and analyzed data is useful. Parang titingnan mo kung saan mo pwedeng gamitin, saan ba dapat, and so on. And to do that, you can use hypothesis, prediction, estimation, and conclusion. Okay? So pag nagawa mo na lahat yan, then you may now proceed to the last stage of intelligence cycle, which is dissemination. Yan. Sa dissemination naman, hindi kung saan-saan. Kailangan mong establish yung need to know requirement. Yan. Kung sino lang ang dapat makakuha ng information na yan. So, yan, you have to establish that. No? So, dissemination, pakibasa na lang yan. No, this is maybe done either for assigning security classification. Dapat i-classify mo rin yung intelligence mo na yan, kung anong klaseng intelligence report na yan. Is it secret, confidential, restricted, or top secret? Para kasali din yan sa security ng intelligence mo. No, kasi pag top secret yan, then basically only, example, only the President of the Philippines will have access to it. No? Siya lang ang pwede mong pagbigyan ng intelligence na yan. hindi kung kanino. Yan ang ibig sabihin yan. That is why you have to classify the intelligence that you have processed. No? Okay? So, what are the four categories of classified information or matter? Ito yung common na ginagamit. We have top secret. Yeah. So, pag ang classification mo sa intelligence is top secret, then it means unauthorized disclosure would cause grave damage to the nation. Yeah. Pag secret naman, mas mababa yan. Information, yan, serious injury to the prestige of the nation. Yan. Kung masisira niya ang isang agency, then basically that may be classified as secret. Pero if it involves the destruction and endangerment of national security, then that is a top secret one. Then confidential, mas mababa yan sa secret. Yan, tingnan nyo na lang yan. So paano mo makikita na i-emphasize na top secret ng isang document, for example, na andon yung intelligence mo. Now it is covered by legal size bond paper lined with 1-inch green border. Pag green border yung document na yan, for example, na hard copy, then basically top secret yan. Pag naman ang border is red, then that is secret. Pag confidential, it is blue border. Then pag restricted, ang nakalagay lang sa baba niya is restricted word at the top of the bottom. Yan. So, walang color yan. Okay? Then, ang restricted na yan, no? Example, yung mga reports ng investigation o report ng isang police na ito lang ay dapat para lang sa mga police officers or para lang sa police station, for example. Those are restricted matters. Okay? Then, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina that in the event of the last cycle of intelligence, you have to establish the need to know requirement bago mo i-disseminate ang isang information. Okay? Yeah. Need to know is the term given to the requirement that dissemination of classified document and information be limited strictly to those persons whose official duty requires knowledge or possession thereof, while compartmentation is the granting of access to classified document or information. Okay, so those are issues as far as dissemination is concerned. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, no, I will end my discussion in this particular topic. Whatever things that were not discussed, we will discuss them in the next subject or in the coming days, no, as far as investigation is concerned. Okay, so do not forget, no, fundamentals of criminal investigation and intelligence is a subject matter that gives you basic knowledge as far as the basic foundations of criminal investigation are concerned, where it includes the use and emphasis of intelligence. So dito sa subject na ito, I hope you have a little understanding on the basics of criminal investigation and the importance of intelligence in the solution of crimes. And again, we will continue our discussions in the future or in the nearest future. Okay, so with that, thank you, and may God bless us all. Let us all, and as one, surpass, no, these challenges that we are facing. This is not the right time for us to give up. No, This is not the right time for us to complain for ourselves and so forth and so on. But this is the time for us to be more stronger, for purposes of preparing ourselves in the future. So ang iniisip nyo ngayon dapat, especially as students, is paano gawin ang dapat mong gawin, especially sa sarili mo, for you to prepare for the board examination. Board examination. Because ang pagpasa lamang at pag-top sa board examination, iyan lang ang pinaka, that is the supreme evidence that you are worthy. No? That is a supreme evidence that you deserve to be called as such. No? Yan lang ang pagpasa mo sa board exam, pag-top sa board exam, na pwede mong masabi sa sarili mo na ikaw ay isang magaling na tao. No? Kasi pag hindi mo na ipasa ang board exam, then basically there is something wrong that you have to improve. Okay? So that is my point. That is why every subject that you will undertake, no matter what, no, ang pag-aaral ay nagsisimula sa iyo. Hindi nagsisimula sa ibang tao, but ang pag-aaral, learning and education starts within you. No? Nag-i-start yan sa iyo. So, ang gagamitin mo lang is initiative. No, you should have initiative. Unahin ang paghihirap, unahin ang sacrifices, at I assure you, as far as your academic endeavors are concerned, mahuhuli is a longer and a fruitful ganacity, no? In imasness. Pero pag unahin mo ang imasness, ganacity, tulog-tulog, yeah, lakwatsa, and so forth and so on, then basically, you will suffer. No? Very simple lang naman yan. No? What you sow is what you reap. No pain, no gain. No? Alright, so basically, yeah, you are old enough. Marami kayong natutunan in this pandemic that we face. I hope we have our own internalization, realization, especially as a person and as a student. No? So with that, I give you all, no, my blessings. Let us all be good. And once again, God bless us all. Uh, 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 be good always. Be disciplined. Okay? Thank you. And see you next time. All right.